Hello and welcome to VChess. My name is Naiditsch, I am a chess grandmaster and we continue with our educational streams. Let's go with the first rapid game, and I will be of course commenting on what is going on the chessboard. We'll see a lot of different ideas, a lot of tactical battles because every game is something new. Let's go. We start today's stream with the move e4, the central move, maybe the most popular one. Welcome everyone. Hi DBM today. First with good morning and Grand Mina with a hello to both of you. I hope you're doing well. We have the French defense. Let's go with the move knight on d2 because we played so many games. Knight on c3 already. Let's change a little bit. So we're gonna take, and to play knight on f3, so long run, we will be playing against the isolated pawn. Yeah, I have changed the board. Let me know, what do you think about this change of the board? Is it a good change or a bad change? Just to switch something. Instead of green board, we have now this kind of wooden looking board. So let's continue. We take c5, we will be playing against the pawn on d5, so isolated pawn position is going to arise very shortly. How to evaluate the positions with isolated pawn on d5? Usually we can say they're slightly better for white, very slightly, so the main idea remains we change as many pieces as we can and then we put eventually the knight on d4, so we will have this kind of little bit better position, not much, very little. So let's continue with with our plan. We have two options here. We have the option of taking or not to take. Sorry. Both is okay. Let's go with the move rook to e1 because to put the rook here is always a good idea. Solomon also here. Welcome Solomon. Let me know if you like the current chessboard. Is it better than the green one? So we will see how to try to get the pawn on d5. So this is a very positional game that we have in front of us. Very positional because it's going to be a very long game. The main idea is once again to change everything, and then I have some kind of rook endgame, maybe pair of rooks, maybe there might be also queens on the board, but the strategy always remains the same. We try to attack the pawn on d5 step by step. So rook on e8, we play the move c3. This move is very useful. We stop the pawn from moving. We would like to get knight on d4. The next moves are pretty logical. For white, for black, a little bit more harder to play here because the pawn might be falling sometime. And with black, usually you try to keep the pawn alive as long as possible because obviously once the pawn is gone, white is doing better because we'll be a pawn up. So, queen on d6, maybe the idea is to get the rook on d8, yes, this is normal, but it allows us some kind of tricky stuff with the move, for example, knight on d4, or we can play the move queen on b3. Also this move queen on b3 is not so bad because we would like to take the pawn on b7, we are connecting the rooks, and as well, next, rook on d1, very simple idea, just to win the pawn on d5 in case we can. Okay, welcome everyone to VChess. Knight on e4, so we can change the bishops. This is what we should do here. On the other hand, maybe I should not change the bishops. Also this move bishop e3 is looking pretty nice. Main idea is to change the bishop, so should we switch from our main idea because there is this b7 pawn is under attack and I have this rook to d1. very quickly. I don't know. Maybe let's continue with the main idea. So we play simple chess. We are just taking the bishop on e7. Next move is gonna be rook to d1. As you can see now, the pressure on d5 is getting slowly more and more. So it's gonna be difficult for black to defend a pawn on d5 normally. This kind of position is slightly better for white, so not much, but slightly. We will be pushing against the pawn on d5 for a very long time. Let me read the question. Hello, can you play with 2500 or 2700 engine bot? I want to see how GM thinking for precise engine moves. I'm never playing bots because I think it has absolutely no value to play a bot. Bot is 1,000 times stronger than a human. No human can beat a bot of 2700. So to play bot is like you're, I don't know, running against a car or similar things. So I don't see value in playing bots. I'm never playing bots. I never have been playing bots. I think no GM is playing bots because it makes no sense. It doesn't make you better. You're getting nothing out of the game with a bot. Sorry, but on my streams we will be not playing bots because I just don't know why to play the bots. Black changed the pair of rook, and this is usually not ideal for black because now there will be no counterplay whatsoever because there are not so many pieces left on the board. It means we will be pushing against the pawn on d5 for a very long time. The next step, it would be great to get an endgame. So in case we can get an endgame here, this would be beautiful. Maybe first let's play the move rook on e1 just to cover the e file. Should be not a bad thing, and maybe we can try somehow to get an endgame. So endgame is perfect. In case we reach it, then white will be doing much better. I think we might try here moves like queen a4, for example, to dominate the e-file. Maybe it's possible to play something like queen a3 to get this rook on e7, but at the moment there is knight on e4, so we are not able to do that. Maybe we proceed with the move knight on d4, which is also very typical in these positions. We put the knight, obviously, beautiful square. Next is f3, so this is important moment, I think, for paying attention to. In case we can get the pawn to f3, then we cut the black knight. No moves knight e4, no moves knight on g4, no nothing. So f3 is so useful. And also for the future endgame, the king will be very close to the center. So f3 is a major important step. In case we can do it, I think we're establishing sort of plus equal on the board, and this is a very pleasant plus equal, so it's going to be a very long game. So most welcome. For my opinion, Grand Miner is a bot beater. Okay, I don't know, Grand Miner, if you like to play the bots, because I think it's much more fun to play humans. But alright, yeah. In case you're enjoying playing bots, that's your thing. We have queen on f4. Is it working? Because I think I can just take the pawn. Or is there something that I'm missing? Because otherwise we are just winning by taking the pawn. I don't know why he's giving me the pawn by playing queen on f4. This looks a little bit weird. What could be the idea? To give me the pawn on b7. Maybe our opponent panicked a little bit, but too early to panic. So I don't know. I don't know why he's giving us this opportunity just to take the pawn on b7. In case of knight on g4, we always have this defense knight of 3, so we are defending both of the pawns. This looks strange, so I think We're capable of taking the pawn, so I think we take it. Because I don't see a reason why not to take. Now, we have many options here with white. Let's see, easy option, queen e7, because the pawn cannot be taken, we have a checkmate. Also, maybe we can be like super greedy here with the move queen takes a7, which is also looking not so bad. So there is, of course, the pawn is going to fall, but now the queen from a7 is defending the pawn on f2, so we might start some counterattack with moves like knight f5, for example. Maybe closing the rook. But this is like little shaky, so maybe we should try something more safe here. And to play queen on a6, I think deserves attention. Is there something black can do against queen a6? Maybe this. Is it working for black to play something like that? We will be winning the pawn a7 later, but it's not like it is an immediate win. This is a problem, so this move queen on d2 is sort of possible. What is the best way to win the current position? I think still I should play the move maybe queen a6, just to be safe, because we will be better. The question will be staying again, how much better, but we will see. This we are going to see if it is much better or just a little better, but I'm a little bit surprised that there is no way to be like completely winning here for white. It seems like the 8th rank is just so weak, and I couldn't find a straight way to be like immediately winning. That's why queen on d2 played. Yeah, this is very strange that I don't have immediately a winning position here. I'm very surprised about it. I think we should play the move knight on f3. We are defending the rook, and next we're gonna win the pawn on a7. But this is not an immediate win, so maybe black has some drawing chances here. Of course, pawn up is a pawn up, but I'm not so sure, because there is this knight e4 coming sometime. c3 is weak, so potentially there is some kind of rook c8 idea. I'm not 100% sure that this is a winning position for white. We will see a big fight here. We have obviously the a pawn, which is extra, but very weird that this move queen f4 seemed to work. I'm very surprised about it. Next, I believe we should play a move like h3, not to get checkmated on the last rank. Black is immediately going for the pawn on c3. We have here a couple of counter chances with moves like knight on e5, for example, or knight on g5. So I think first let's go with the move h3, but I'm not perfectly positioned. I don't know. How can we win the current position? Somehow rook c8 also strange a bit, but I don't see how to defend the pawn on c3. In case of knight on e5, I think he can still take the pawn. This is a strange thing, to give up on the f7 pawn, play king h8, and it seems like the rook is under attack. I don't know how to defend the rook. We can eventually go back, maybe. Maybe this is something I should do, but maybe then I will try with the move for knight on g5. I think it looks better. So let's go with the move knight on g5. We can always turn back. This is the idea. But rook c8 is very good move. This knight e4 idea also looks a bit dangerous. How can we defend the pawn on c3 in a good way? No clue. I don't know how to defend this pawn. So, because I just don't know how to do that, I will play maybe the move h3, but this is a draw. So we are not fast enough with the pawn. How to defend the pawn on c3? This is incredible. I cannot defend the pawn. I cannot. So I can go like queen on d4, but this is also just a draw because now all the pieces will be exchanged and there's nothing I can do. Wow. Crazy. This is a bit crazy that I can do nothing in the current position to defend the pawn. Incredible. How is it possible? How is this possible? So okay, I will go with the move h3, but this is crazy. Something super weird is going on because everything works for black. How is it possible that literally everything is working for black? So it's like I can do nothing. No tactics for white. To take b7 was a mistake, but how to see that to take a pawn for free is a mistake. This is a too high level for me, so I cannot play chess like that. To take a free pawn is a mistake. Well, if this is like it is, I'm not strong enough not to take a free pawn. Let's see if we might be doing a little bit better because we get this a4 followed by the move rook a1. So the a4, the a pawn obviously is better than the d pawn. So this is easy to see. Queen on c2, also very good move. But the guy is just too strong. The guy is extremely strong. Will we get even the slightest chances here of pretending that we're playing for a win? Let's see. Knight on c3. Again. No, but this is a monster against who we play. He's just outplaying us so easily. This is even funny to see. Literally no chances whatsoever against the guy. He is just too strong in tactics. This is amazing. This is just amazing because such a play. Always best moves by our opponent. And also queen c3. This is unreal. So this is just unreal. No, but the guy is playing, I don't know what is his strengths. It's this is like a beast. Also rook c8, yeah, the best move. Unbelievable. I don't know what to do here. Rook c8, not to give me knight c6, not to give me nothing. This is huge. Huge player. What to say? But let's play what to do. We are playing against a genius. This is a genius on the chessboard. Yeah, we have literally almost no chances against the guy. He is a beast. Oh. I don't think we will be able to save the game. So we will get some little chances here for a draw. Probably not, but let's fight. Wow, we are checkmating the machine. We checkmated the machine. Huge. This is unbelievable, player. We checkmated the machine. This is just unreal, because this is the only way to win the game. You have to get low on time and just to play super quick, because this is no chance. Otherwise, we checkmated the machine on the H file. Finally, this is the only way. What to do? Tough first game. Let's go for the next one. What a game. So, welcome everyone to VChess. We have educational chess content here. Give some likes in case you're enjoying my comments, in case you are enjoying our content. So, in case you have some questions, please write them in the chat. Sometimes I can see the chat, but if the game is very tense, then I don't have any kind of possibility to do that. So, review the game. We're never reviewing the games on the channel because I think I'm commenting enough during the game, so to review would be like double. It would be just boring. So, how to see that he is a machine? Very easy to see, because when you are a professional, you see immediately that something is wrong. So we're playing against, let's say, club level player that is doing weird moves and everything is always working. This is never happening, so it's very easy to feel for a professional when you're starting to play a player that is playing strange, playing on a very different level of strengths, etc, etc. So this is very, very easy. Can't know for sure. No, you can know 100%. It's not even 99, it's 100. So for a hobby player, it's difficult to see, but for a professional, it's very, very easy. So yeah, you must understand that when you are a professional, it means you're very good in what you do. So because you're very good in what you do, you feel the game, you feel your job, you know what you are doing. So there is no way, for example, for a club level player, player cannot win a game against a GM. It is impossible. There is no way, under no circumstances. So opinion of, let's say, an amateur is completely irrelevant, because it doesn't matter. An amateur cannot judge because too weak to judge. But as a professional, you see immediately what is going on. So you see that if someone is playing level of a GM, for example, and this is a club level player, this is impossible. It can happen over a couple of moves, but it cannot happen over a long distance. So if, let's say, you face an opponent that over long distance is playing like a GM, this is impossible in case he's not a GM. So the judgment for a human is very, very easy. So this is very easy to see. So let's see. what is going to happen next in the current position? So, in the current position, usually idea of black is to get the bishop on g7 or to get the bishop on e7, depending on the next moves of white. To put the bishop to e6 is usually not so good here, because white can take, even with the pawn on d3. And then it's gonna be like slightly better for white, very slightly of course, but usually we would like to try to keep the bishop later. I mean, we keep it first on c8, and in theory we see what happens later. So sometimes, yes, we can put the bishop to e6, but usually we don't rush with this decision. So d4, usually d4 is a bit risky play, because we get this bishop g4 now, and as you can see, the spin is quite unpleasant, so the position is going to be more or less equal here. White has played the move d3 followed by the move d4. This is usually not the best concept. So you must be careful in the opening. Usually the rule goes that you should not play twice with the same piece, or in most of the cases. And we saw that white developed with a move d3, and then white went with the move d4. So this is something that, let's say, a good player would never do, because a good player would never think about it. Because usually it is bad, so you don't move twice the same piece in the opening. That's why a good player, for example, would never consider move like d4, because it feels bad, so you do something else automatically. You're not thinking even about it, you just play it because you feel, alright, this is not what I should do, so let me do something else. This is a usual thought process. Okay, what do we have here? Can we somehow do nasty things on the diagonal? I think we can take, queen is gonna take, or the pawn is gonna take. In both cases it's pretty unclear. I think we should maybe first play the move bishop on e7, because we should castle short side in case we can. So bishop e7, there is no more queen on b3, because we're gonna castle short side. This is the plan. To take the pawn on b7 looks just so risky. We'll get this knight f5, it would be a fork to the queen and to the bishop on c4, so yeah. So again, please stop this conversations about cheating, not cheating. In case you don't respect my opinion, switch the channel and that's it. There are many channels, like for example of Sadistic Dushi. He will have most probably your opinion about many things. Let's focus now on the chess game so we can enjoy it and we can try to become a little bit better chess players. That's why we are here. What could be the next move of white in the current position? It seems like we have Italian or Spanish with tempo down for white, I would say. So yeah, looks pretty good for black, I think. We will be castling short side next. This is what we want to do. I see a question there. So, to take the pawn, and this is possible, but it's so dangerous. In most of the cases, we have this rook e1 coming. In theory, we might be able to take somewhere the pawn, but we have to choose the right moment for taking the pawn. The e file is getting open, so this is why I played first the move bishop on e7 to close the file a little bit. In theory, we might be able to take the pawn next, but we have to be careful with the move rook to e1. So yeah, our opponent is playing a little bit slow. Yeah, this is true. This is true. By the way, please write me in the chat if you have tried our app, VChess, and what do you think about it? You think it's a nice app to play, or would you do something better? There is soon the second version of it coming out. So let me know. Let me know what you think about the current one, and eventually what would you wish to be improved. H3. So now he's asking us basically to take on f3. And yeah, once we're being asked, we take here. He's sacrificing the pawn on d4. I think too ambitious play with the white pieces. I would not give the pawn so easily here on d4. Especially that we have here knight e5 coming next with a fork on queen f3 and the bishop on c4. Queen on g3. The idea, bishop takes h6. We have to defend from this idea. We can do it in many different ways. I think most simple is just to move the king. This is a usual way of defense. We have also a beautiful defense with the move knight e5, but this is getting a bit more complex. But it's a beautiful move, knight e5, because in case of taking, we have this knight on h5. I can play it just for fun, just to show you that knight e5 is a very, very beautiful move. Not really needed, let's call it like that. Most easy is just to get king to h8. This would be a good play. But just for you to see this beautiful knight on e5 idea, actually bishop on e2, it's a bad move. So just imagine knight on e5. We are attacking the bishop. In case white is taking on h6, we have this knight to h5. And the queen from g3 would have no other square to go than to go to h2. So a knight on e5 could be a very good move here, but there is a problem with the move bishop e2, I think, but maybe we can take the pawn on e4. Okay, it's getting a little messy because he wants to take then cd with a tempo, but okay, let's go. Let's go just for fun, the move knight e5. Usually, I think it's better to play moves like king h8 just to be safe. The guy is playing immediately the move bishop b3, and now we can fulfill our idea, and it is to play the move knight h5, so this is what we wanted, and what a defense by the knights in the center of the board. The queen is almost caught, by the way. There's just one square here to h2, there's nothing else, so very, very nice. The app looks a little bit childish. I think if you pass first levels, then it looks like very, very normal app for just getting better. Because first levels is, of course, you just learn the very basics, but it's normal to start with the basics, I think. By the way, in the app, to pass the whole educational story takes approximately, for me, I think 40 minutes. And after you're getting to endgame story and the paddle story, of course, it's very hard level already. So it goes step by step. This is the way most of the applications are done. Now, what we do next? We have here this beautiful queen on h2. Let's maybe take the bishop on c1. Yes, let's go. With the move knight on d3, attacking the rook. And next we're gonna take the bishop. Can we, by the way, catch the queen? This would be amazing. Should we try to catch the queen? This would be funny. Take a look at that. Take. Then we have bishop h4. And bishop on g3 eventually. So, can we try to catch the queen on h1? But feels difficult to catch, I don't know. I don't think there's a way to catch, but very funny move here. Just to take, king takes, and then we have this bishop h4 with a move bishop on g3 or knight on g3. The queen literally will have no moves to go, except on h1, so this is funny, but maybe not a very good play. So let's continue by playing just good chess, or trying at least to play good chess. We are pawn up, which is excellent. Let's go with the move bishop g5. We'll win another tempo here. Rook gets to d1. Now we need to think, how can we play in the current position? To take looks good, simple and good. We can play a bit more complex move like rook e8, because in case rook is taking, I think we have this very beautiful move bishop c1. Feels a bit unnatural, but maybe it is a nice play here. We have also bishop f4. Could be played, but there is always g3, so I think there is no rush with it. Let's think. Okay, let's go with this. Maybe rook e8. It's gonna be very funny because I don't see how far away to defend the pawn on b2, so let's go with the move rook e8. Quite interesting, I believe. We provoke this rook takes to have bishop on c1. What a beautiful way to get to the b2 pawn. Might be working, might be not working. DC would have been the normal way to play the position, but there's knight c3. I just don't like that he gets this tempo. Now we try with the move bishop on c1, so this is the idea. b2 pawn almost cannot be defended any longer, so very unusual way, I think, to get the pawn on b2, but quite nice. So, do I stream on Twitch? No. Then, nice comment, not to take enough too is a chicken move. Well, sometimes it's better to be chicken but alive than to be a dead. Which animal should we take? Some big but not very smart animals. So, for example, hypo. So, sometimes chicken is not so bad in a chess game. Rook on d3. Now we managed to take this 2 pawns. So let's just change. And next, maybe we're gonna take the pawn on e4. I think we should. Let's take the pawn on e4. We threat here with a checkmate, and I think the game should be almost over. The advantage of black here is very, very big. We continue threatening nasty things on the e-file. We have this knight f4 with a tempo coming next. We have 3 pawns up now. Advantage of black is just too big. g4, knight on f4, attacking the rook, and still we have the checkmate. So now we have the checkmate, that's it. Rook e1, and we are winning the game. So this was, I think, a solid game by us. And as you can see, we played more or less same rating opponent as the last game, and just compare the strengths of the moves from the previous game. The guy played like a genius, and here we see that, yes, it is not easy, of course, for a club level player to play against a GM, and this is normal. As a GM, you feel the strengths again of your opponent very, very easy. Okay. Let's go with the next game. And of course, in case you're enjoying my comments, in case you're enjoying here's a content on VChess, please like and subscribe. Especially give us some likes so the algorithm kicks in a little bit. We'll have more viewers, we'll have more chat. It's going to be more fun. Next game is on the way. I see a question. Can you beat Gotham Chess? Yes, I can beat Gotham Chess. Gotham Chess is not a professional player, so even the question is not fair. Because Gotham Chess is a streamer, he is not a chess player. We should not compare professional people. Let's say, can a football player play better football than a football journalist? Yes, of course, because one is a player and the other guy is a journalist, and the same is with Gotham Chess. Gotham Chess is not a professional chess player. We have a Reti opening with the move bishop on f5. Short castle. Then we have d3. This is a normal way to play the positions. With the move knight on d2 and e4. So, it's c5, very, very dangerous move for black, because it is not the right way to put the knight on c6 here. This is not what black should aim, because the e4 will explode the position, and then the weaknesses here on the long diagonal will be visible. You will see it during the next couple of moves. Again, we will be deleting in the chat people who have very limited brain capacity. To compare a streamer to a professional chess player makes 0 sense. This kind of people, I think, should just not be with us on the channel, so we'll be deleting you. Very simply. C5. We can play the move C4, which is very good. We can play the move Knight E5, which is very good. We can continue with the move Knight on D2, aiming for the move E4, which is also good. And we can play the move Knight H4, which is also a good move. We have many options. Which option should we take here? I don't know. Knight H4 is maybe the safest one because we get the bishop and then we want to open the file by playing the move C4 or by playing the move E4. Bishop E7, giving up on the bishop on the 5 is usually better in case you play the move bishop on G6. So, let's take. I see a question in the chat. Is I am not a professional? Yes, of course, International Master is not a professional player. In case you don't know it, you should improve your knowledge. This is why you can be with us, so you will get to know that International Master is not a professional player. There are 0 International Masters who are chess professionals because they would earn 0 money. In case you want to earn money, you must be at least a GM. And in case you want to make money in chess tournaments, you must be at least 2,600, otherwise it's not possible. So your income is gonna be 0. That's why there are no IMs who are professional chess players. There are people who are teaching chess, there are people who are streaming, giving lessons, etc. But there is never a professional chess player who is International Master. This does not exist. Not even one. Alright, as I mentioned earlier, the bishop on G2 is becoming a beast. So, this is why I would not advise to play the move C5 against the bishop on G2. Usually put your pawn on C6 in case you would like to play against the bishop on G2. Would be normal. Now black is already suffering here on the long diagonal and the suffer is never ending. So, for example, we can take already on C6 and this is going to be a better position for white. Or we play with a bishop pair, which is also a better position for white. So, we have to make a choice here. I think to take is usually a good idea because we took the pawn, we took the bishop on F5 already. Queen on A4. So, let's see. What do we have here? Somebody doesn't like the board color. Room doesn't like the board color. Yeah, before we had the green, now we have the wood. Just to change a little bit. Just to have different colors is not bad. By the way, our opponent is playing very, very quickly, but we're doing here much better because we have the better structure. So next we should try to win the pawn on c5 in case we can. Maybe let's put the queen to c4. So we will be playing the move bishop e3, trying to win a pawn on c5, or knight a4, trying to win a pawn on c5. Different tries, different tries. For the pieces to use the 11 set. Okay, I think all of this is a matter of taste. We will be trying many different boards. This is not a problem, so we have time. Queen on d6. The idea after knight a4. What is the defense? I don't know what is the defense, so let's go with the move knight a4, trying to attack the pawn on c5. Very difficult to defend the pawn already. This is why this whole system for black, it was very dangerous, very, very dangerous. He gives us the pawn on... I don't know why he gives us the pawn. Little bit strange play by my opponent, because I don't understand why he gives us immediately the pawn. Obviously we can take it with a queen and with a bishop. Both is looking like it's very good, so I don't know. Let's take with a bishop. I don't see a big difference. Queen on d4 is the idea of our opponent, but this endgame is looking horrible. Pawn down for black, plus still the pawns are very weak. This is not a good endgame. Okay, we can bring the piece into the game, I think. So we have the pressure here on the c-file. This is looking excellent. How do GMs study opening? Well, to study opening is not so easy because, of course, you're using engine, plus you must navigate the engine. So to study opening is a very difficult thing. You need a lot of experience for that, so you must feel the engine is doing well or not so well in some particular position, so you navigate the engine. This is like super high level, because of course to insert the first line of engine, this is what most of the people do, not on a very high level. That's why, let's say, the preparation of international master will never be the same as a preparation of a top GM, because it seems like they use the same engine, they do everything the same, but in fact international master cannot feel how to navigate the engine, so he cannot feel which positions are dangerous, because let's say engine shows 000 in 5 different lines, and GM is capable of choosing the line that is going to be unpleasant for the opponent, and a weaker player cannot do that. That's why it's always that it looks like everyone is using the same engine, but in fact the navigation of the engine plays the decisive role, and that's why I think great example is Magnus Carlsen on that. It looks like he plays all his lines are like 000. This is the evaluation of an engine, so he's not really getting advantage out of the opening on the first look. But on the second look, I think you can see very easily that all of these positions that Magnus is getting out of opening are just so unpleasant to play for the opponent. Yes, it is like 000, but it's so unpleasant. And this is a mastery of high-level preparation that, yes, computer evaluates the position as 000, but in fact you are doing better. So this is like super high level, and you need a lot of experience for that. You must be a very strong chess player for that, so a lot of things are needed. Let's go back to the game. We have knight on b6 as a threat, so we should get ready to take the pawn on c5. How can we do that? Maybe by closing here the e-file. Is it a valid move? I think so. Still, there will be knight on b6 coming, so we will go with the rook somewhere. Or maybe just to go back with the rook on c2, because we're having the pawn up position. No rush here. We will be targeting the pawn on c5, so long run we're gonna take away the pawn on c5. There is no way to defend the pawn for a long period of time. Let's get the king here to protect the pawn on e2. Next, let's go with the move bishop e3. And I believe we will be winning the pawn on c5 next, and it is basically the end of the game, because the pressure on the c-file is just too much. Let me read for a second your comments. How do you develop these skills? You need a lot of training. What do you think? How long does it take to be a GM? How much effort it takes to be a GM? In case you are a talented guy, in case you are smart, maybe you have a chance of becoming a GM, but this is only maybe, so it's also not sure. To become GM is difficult. You put at least 10 years of hard work every day. You practice, you play, you must have good nerves, you must have good understanding, you must be improving in the things you do. So you're just must have is so many, and maybe one day you become then a GM. So we take on c5 because I'm just entering and completely winning rook endgame, which is going to be, in my opinion, the simplest way to win the current position. We could have played with the rook somewhere, not giving up on our exchange, but I think it's just simpler. Rook endgame, 2 pawns more. This is an easy win. Thank you very much. Yeah, the game against Kamer, it was a nice game. I had many nice games against Kamer somehow. He is very solid player, of course, very, very strong. Back then he was quite young, but he already played very, very good chess, and we had a couple of big battles with Kamer, very interesting games. So yeah, this is true. Alright, let's go back to the game, because otherwise I will be maybe not winning here. Let's win the game first, because it's going down on time, and then I will try to answer your questions. So we're winning the pawn on c6. The position of black is falling apart as expected. Let's go the move rook c4. Very safe positions for the rooks. We have here in theory a little bit problem on the square e3, but exchange up, so it is worst case scenario. I can always take the knight in case I need it, so it is not like extremely dangerous. This position should be quite an easy win. So bishop on b6. He would like to play this knight on g4, but I think we should just change the rooks, because it makes the game more easy. Simplification is the simplest way of winning a winning position. In case you can simplify in a winning position, I think you should go for it. Now the knight from e6, we can put it to g5, for example. Yeah, let's go then move knight on g5, because this is a check, so next we will be advancing here the pawns, and it should be game over. We have to be a little bit careful with moves like knight on d5 or knight on g4, but now we can get even knight on f3 back, so there is no hope. There is no hope left in the current position for black, except I will be having a mouse slip or similar. Let's hope I will be not. So let's advance with let's first play knight on f3, so there will be no threats at all. Play d4, close the bishop. Next we will be pushing the pawns, and that's it. d4, closing the bishop on b6. There is just one check here. We have massive material up, as you can see. Maybe even king f2, e3 first. There is no rush. There is no rush at all in positions like that. We can enjoy that we're having this kind of material advantage, so we can win it safely. This looks like a very safe win, yeah. So we have the move bishop on c7. What is the idea of that? I don't know. What is the idea? So let's go with the move rook a8 just to target the pawn on a7. And let's go with the move king f2 e3. As we said, first we block the bishop, then we're gonna see what we are going to play next. We have all the time in the world here because there is no rush at all. So we block the bishop, now we free the knight. Next is we're gonna get the knight into the game. So knight on c3, attacking the pawn. Alright, let's move. Let's move the pawn. King on h6 is almost in a checkmate. So let's attack the bishop here. This is going to be game over very soon. But still, we have to be a little bit careful not to blunder something. So this is like the main worry that we have in the position. Mouse slip, blunder. Yeah, something that could still stop us from winning here. Welcome to Australia. Australia, welcome. I hope you're enjoying the streams here on VChess. I'm trying to comment the game the way I see chess. So we have mostly objective views on the position. No nice stories, which are usually not very objective because sometimes I'm reading things online, I'm just completely shocked. f4. Alright, let's take the pawn. He gives me the piece. Okay, Let's take the piece. Now we are already a rook up. Let's see if our opponent is going to resign on his game or he continues. Hello from Brazil. Brazil with us. Great, great, great. The stream is getting bigger, yeah. This is very nice to see. I hope, again, you're enjoying. Give some likes, subscribe, so the algorithm of YouTube is going to push a little bit the stream. Usually I'm streaming midday Emirates time and in the evening. So thank you very much, of course, for the nice comments. And again, here on this channel we try to stay objective. This is extremely important. This channel is for people who are intellectually on a higher level than one move, and I don't mean chess wise, I mean life wise. And majority of people that I see on social media, these are one move thinkers. There is zero understanding of anything. It is like one mover. Let's scream something, let's say something. What are you saying? How do you know that? Did you make any kind of research? So this is shocking to see. And here on VChess we have, I think, excellent people who are following us. Many smart guys, many very good chess players. So I'm very happy to see that. Yes, sometimes still some messages has to be deleted in the chat because this is unavoidable. You have a lot of, for example, Indian kids who are 10 years old and they're just screaming some nonsense in the chat because they would like to say something. This is unavoidable, so we are just canceling them. But otherwise, yeah, thank you very much for the nice comments, for watching, for the support. Our channel is growing and it is because of you, so thanks. And maybe a little bit because of me, of my comments. As well, we have the Gemelin for the chess fund, so the Indian chess kids can go to Gemelin. I think she is the right choice. She is just a beginner, making her first moves into the world of chess. And actually, her games, of course, yeah, how to call them. I read one comment, somebody said it is painful. Maybe it is a bit, but I think it's funny. It's fun. So yeah, there are different things for different people. All right, let me read the chat a little bit. There's a question if I have seen the game of Ivanchuk. No, I haven't seen. There's the European Championship going on. Yeah, of course I know that. Ivanchuk, yeah, I played Ivanchuk also many games back then when Ivanchuk has been the top chess player of the world, and we had many crazy games. By the way, I remember still that the first game that I have played against Ivanchuk, I managed to win the game. He was very upset with that because I was still a young boy. I think I've been maybe 15 years old or 17 or something like this, and I won my game against Ivanchuk. It was in the Marshall. It was a great game by me. I played really well, but this was my first my first real game against the legend. After that, we played a lot of games. And yes, he was very creative over the board, very creative, one of the most creative players. But of course, his advantage was that his behavior during the board, it was just terrible. Many people see that, alright, he's a genius or whatever, so they let him do that, but his behavior on the board, in case you're facing him over 4 hours, it was very tough, very tough, because he is shaking. He's speaking to himself during the game, so it makes you very, I don't know how to describe it, you are not calm, during the board. And of course, chess requires you to be very calm, to be in peace. And to play Ivanchuk was always very difficult, at least for me, because he does a lot of things that are pretty irritating during the game. I don't think he does it to disturb you, but he just does it because he does it. But still, it is making the game very strange. So, difficult guy to play. But of course, one of the best chess players in the world. Definitely a legend. Nothing to say. Alright, let's go back to the current game because too much talk and no real chess. We have here a position that I believe should be fine for black. We have bishop g7 idea somewhere to play the move f5, and also we have the idea of playing the next move. So the next move is important. Please follow the next move. We play the move queen c5, and you might say, why do we change the queens? And this is a very important positional move in my opinion. Most of the endgames that we are able to change the queens like that, so we keep the c-file and we keep the bishop pair, are almost better for black. Yes, computer, for example, here would give more or less an equal position, but in a practical game, these positions feel better for black. Why? Because long run, the bishop pair is going to dominate the game. Not immediately, of course. It is a very, very long run. Rook on e1. Where is the rook going to? To play e5 doesn't feel like the right decision for white. There is knight on the e5 move. This is normal. So maybe we can go first with the move e6 to avoid this knight on d5. Next we're gonna play the move h4, so we try to create a weakness here. We play a6 next to be also very safe, and then the bishop from f8 is getting over eventually e7, d8 to b6. Look at this bishop on b6, it's gonna be a powerhouse. Oh, e5, he's opening the position, but to open the position when you see the bishop pair on the board is just a wrong strategy. So maybe it might work to play the move e5, but it's a wrong strategy, so I believe I should be doing well now. Usually moves like e5 do not work in the endgame. Try to give me a checkmate in an endgame. I don't think it's gonna work, so now we have to play a good move. Idea of my opponent, I guess, is take to play the move knight on e4, attacking the rook and simultaneously attacking the pawn on f6. Yes, this is a good idea, but the question is it gonna work? I don't think it works. We have to find a good defense now, because by feeling this should be good for black. Okay, so we have first of all the move d5. This looks like a good move. We are quitting on the knight on c3. In case white takes, we're gonna win the pawn back over h6. So I think we are doing fine there. Is there something better? We can play the move f5. Also looks like it is not a bad move, but can we simply take? So take knight on e4. We go away with the rook. Where to put the rook? Let's say we go to c7. There is a check. We go back. White is gonna take back. How is the position? We can take it back. It's gonna be more or less equal, I would say. I don't think that we're doing much better. This might be the problem. We are still doing very safe here, but maybe this position is not better, and I would like to try it at least to get a better play. Maybe we're getting a little bit better play, actually. Very drawish, very, very drawish. So we can push maybe d5. This is giving eventually a little bit more chances here to play for a win, is it? I don't know. Let's rethink again, because is it correct? So I think, yeah, let's try with the move d5. Maybe this is the best way to play the current position for a win, but not sure, not sure. Let's see. If there's a way to sacrifice the exchange, yep, this is an interesting sacrifice, definitely something to be considered, but I think without queens, I'm not sure that we get enough compensation here. That's why I believe it's better just to try to win the pawn on f6, and then we have the bishop pair. So we are aiming for this kind of very long advantage, long-term advantage, to have the bishop pair in the endgame. So that's why I believe usually with white to play this kind of e5 pushes is strategically very dangerous, because it is a wrong strategy. The strategy of white should be to keep the things calm against the bishop pair. And once the position is getting open, like wide open, the advantage of black is gonna be quite big. Now, my next task is to get the pawn f6. In case I manage to get the pawn on f6, this should be a way better position for black, but maybe not so easy. Let's see. f5. We are facing a very aggressive opponent, but can we take the pawn on f6? What is happening in case I take the pawn? Is there something that I'm missing here? Because now we have the center. Is there a way for white to sacrifice something or to do something? Because otherwise we will be playing, for example, bishop d6, king e7, or maybe I should get my king to d8 first. Not sure. Where to put the king? d8 or e7? Rook e5. Our opponent, yeah, he's so aggressive. Every move is an attack. h5 pawn is hanging, but we can defend, for example, with the move d4. So we change the rook, then there is knight e4. So this is not working. Let's go with the move h4, I think. So we keep the pawn alive. The bishop pair should play a very big role on a long run. Let's see if we can keep first the pawn alive. Even in case we give the pawn, it should be still okay for black, but of course we would like to keep it as long as we can. Now in case of rook here, I think we have the defense, so this is fine. No problem here. So let me read the comments. Rook h5, we played the move rook h6 as we wanted. And yes, I'm a little bit down on time because I try to comment the game. Otherwise the stream is making no sense. No, if I like to play chess online, I would just play. Why should I stream then? So the stream is for you guys to improve. Otherwise there is no sense in the stream. To play very quickly, and first of all, I don't like to play online, so I would not play online. But in case I would, then what is the reason of the stream in case I don't comment? So this is making no sense then. Okay, we should maybe get the bishop out here to f6. This is looking pretty nice, I think. So maybe put the bishop here on e7. Is it making sense? And we should try to get the rook back into the game. So we have two missions to accomplish next. Let's go with the move bishop e7. It feels very good to put the bishop on e7, defending the pawn on h4. So very safe. Next we get the bishop to f6. Beautiful square. For the bishop, the knight is gonna be under attack. The knight has to go somewhere. And then maybe we get the option of playing the move e5. The rook on c5, not the best. We should get the rook back over c8 to f8, but in case we manage to get the rook back, this is going to be a better position for black. So pay attention to the bishop pair. Always see the game as something long run. So rook on a8. The rook is pretty passive on a8. What is the plan of my opponent? I don't know. So let me just play the move a6, I guess. Maybe he has some idea, but for the moment I don't see his plan to put the rook on a8. What could be the idea of our opponent? I don't see it. Maybe something like rook a7, but wow. This could be very creative play, but I don't know if this is a good play because it feels strange. So let's go with the move rook f6. As we said, we change now the pieces, and later we hope to be better. We are acting according to the plan we had. Bishop pair will dominate the game. So we are just trying to execute the long-term plan we had. We are not doing anything special, just executing the idea we had. That's why it's so important, I think, to make a good plan, like long-term plan, because then the next moves are easier to be played. Now, okay, let's change one pair of rooks. So we achieved it, and we can play king g7, I think. Again, the rook is just running here. It feels like our opponent is not sure what to do with the rook. It was here, it was here. The rook is running, so we can play simple move. Rook c7, bishop c8 is also possible, but I would like to keep the game as safe as possible. Next, maybe bishop on d6. So we have a little trick here coming up, and we would like to win the pawn on h2. In case we win the pawn on h2, obviously the position of black will be already much better. You feel the power of the bishop pair. It's never to be underestimated. Bishop pair is just so powerful in the endgames. Sometimes you don't feel it immediately, but then you feel it later. But once you feel it, it is just too late eventually. We are not playing like some crazy moves here. We're being stable. We're executing the strategy we have, and it looks like no, we are doing much better. Rook on b8. I would not call it the best rook ever. We have the option, for example, bishop c6 and this, and okay, should I take the pawn? All right. I could also go with the move e5, e4. It was looking also good, but why not to take the pawn next? We can put even the bishop to e5 to dominate the full game. Wow, what a bishop on e5. Look at this. So nice. So nice to have the bishop on e5. Maybe first to put e5, e4. Not a bad idea. So let's see. Let's see what our opponent is going to play next. So we will adapt. I think bishop c6 also a good move. Okay, he's allowing us to play the move e5. I think we should do it. To get the pawn on e4 seems the right thing to do. So e4 coming next. He's allowing us also to play the move bishop c6 to take on g2. Is it not just an easy win? I don't know. Let's go with the move maybe bishop c6, because it's even easier. In case we get the pawn on g2, the game is just over. I could have played the move e4, of course, yeah. Nothing wrong with that, and rook on b8 still completely out of the game. So first of all, it's so easy to lose the rook. Finally, he plays the move rook e8, but this is a blunder of the rook, so we just take it, and that's it. Okay, all in all, I think not a bad game. We played a good strategic game here, in my opinion, in case we go down to the very early stage of the endgame. So this is the endgame, this is how we started, and we have the bishop pair. So long run, we would like to open the position, and the bishop pair is going to dominate over knight and bishop. So e5, very risky strategic decision for white, because white is opening the position, and now white is opening the position even more. It still looks like, alright, bishop pair, I don't need to worry about it. But look what happens next. So we play a little bit, and as you can see, the bishop pair start to dominate the game slowly. Still, it is not yet a domination, but the bishop, h2 pawn. So the game goes on, and here, bishop on c6. So the next move might be even e4, and I think you feel that it is just over, out of nowhere, but actually, more or less, we could expect that, because position, it got very open. We have the bishop pair, so the bishop pair is a monster when it comes to open positions. We're dominating the whole board, basically, by the bishops. Bishop will be defending on b7, attacking on g2. We have the bishop on h2, e4 coming next. It is attacking the rook on b8. And imagine we could also put the bishop to e5. It is like controlling the full board. So, so good here strategically to have the bishop pair, and there's no way to save games like that for white. So the strategy bishop pair. We executed the strategy and we managed to win the game. Yeah, this is what is happening. All right, let's go immediately with the next game. Let me read the comments. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do you coach also? I give very rarely private coaching, so this is what I do rarely. But you can send us an email in case you are interested. Soon I will be offering a group lesson. I'm gonna make 2 groups. One group is gonna be under 1400 and the other is gonna be above. 10 participants only, so we can all talk on Zoom, we can exchange ideas. I will be offering it maybe 2 weeks, 1 month, so we have like weekly training sessions. E6, let's go with the move C4. For a very long time I did not play the move C4. It is not the best move, by the way. Obviously this is not the best, but it's also not so bad. He plays the move E5. Excellent play by our opponent. It is the best move to play E5 here. Let's go with the move A3. So we aim for the idea of B4. This is the main idea for white here, but the move E5 is the best. So we're playing a very well prepared opponent. He knows this kind of E6, E5 moves. Very good. You cannot get my Gmail, but you can just send us an official email. So it's on the channel, info@v-chess.com. D6. Should we get the knight on D5 or should we immediately play the move B4 trying to attack? Also, it's interesting to play the move H3. So we will see now. Very strange play by me, but maybe it is going to be not a very bad play. H6, I don't like the move H6 so much because it's a loss of time for black, in my opinion. So now we can go this knight H2 and knight on G4. Remember this idea. H3, knight H2, knight on G4. What do we reach by that? We are hunting away the knight from F6 to get the knight on D5 next. So I think a very beautiful maneuver here. Knight H2, knight on G4, also quite rare that we can execute it in a good way. I think now we can. He takes, we're gonna take with the pawn. Now somewhere the move G5 maybe will be available. Still the position is more or less equal, of course. But it was nice. It was nice to execute the idea. I think with black, bishop G5 was looking better because the main idea of black is to change the bishop on C1. Black could have done it and with the move bishop G5. Now I will not allow this any longer, I believe. Can I go with the move G3, F4? There is a check and we go king on D2. Okay, I think it's possible, the king on D2. Not the best piece ever, but maybe. I can also go with the move knight on D5, trying to be a little better, but our opponent is going to take the knight. And I might be able to sacrifice here with the move B4, but I'm not sure if I need to do that. So let's go with the move G3. It is the idea is to play the move F4 somewhere. Let's see. Is this stone wall? No, this is not a stone wall. This is just some kind of random opening. I would not even call it opening, just a random play. Queen on D7, attacking the pawn on G4. We can defend it by playing the move F3. So pawn is protected and black has to decide. To play short castle is gonna be a little risky here. To play the long castle, it will be also risky because of the move B4. So black is sort of in a decision mode to play long castle or to play short castle. And with white, we will be playing maybe bishop G2. It's quite useful sometimes to prepare the move F4. We have also useful move bishop on E3 because it's never bad to have the bishop on E3. Knight on D4, so he allows us to play the move B4. It means he would like to go for the short castle. Okay, because we have the option of playing the move B4, we should play the move B4, I guess. B4 on the board. Maybe next bishop on G2 and bishop on E3. So we are also not playing quickly the short castle because we try to make him work, at least in the sense of psychological pressure. I still believe short castle should be played, but it seems like he's a little bit scared of playing the short castle. A6, yeah, he is scared to do the short castle. I think this is a positive thing for white here. Maybe the idea is to play the move b5, but it's okay. And we also might play g5 in the right moment. Not yet, maybe, but maybe later. So we have also the idea of playing f4 somewhere. Couple of ideas here, actually, for white. How dangerous is a move b5? Could be unpleasant, so we have to be careful here with the move b5. Maybe to go g5 is making sense, so we provoke the move h5, and we have this idea of playing the move f4. Position is still very, very dynamic, of course. This is a very dynamic position. Maybe we should aim for the move f4, also interesting. Can I go like bishop h3 and just to try to push with this f4, but he's gonna play the move f6, and actually I'm not reaching much by that. Because of all of this, I believe that we should just play the simple move, probably knight on d5, and play this kind of position. I don't know, maybe we should wait for b5 and then to play the move knight on d5. Maybe this is better. So that's why let's go with the move bishop on h3. Anyway, the bishop is not doing anything there. So let's put the bishop to h3. We're aiming eventually to castle short side. So we have the idea of playing the move f4. And we are aiming to get the knight on d5. In case we get the knight on d5, the bishop might be active somewhere. As well, we have this kind of beautiful idea of king f1, king on g2. So we bring the king, this kind of artificial castle, but we still keep the pressure here on the h-file. So very interesting position. Very, very interesting position. So let's see. If I ever played against Hikaru, yeah, I played many games against Hikaru. Many games. We played in Olympiads, we played Isle of Man, many games. So, next move. Maybe king f1, king on g2, or we're gonna put the knight on this beautiful square on d5. Position is very unclear. Good knight on d4, but we have the h-file. So, the next move of black, I'm very interested if he is going to allow us this knight on d5. Yes, he does. I don't know if we should take and play the move knight on d5. Also, this is looking normal. But maybe he's gonna take. So, okay, let's play first the move knight on d5. I don't know if I should have taken on c5 or not. It's like very difficult positional decision because on one hand it's good to take, on the other hand it's bad to take. Chess is such a complex game. I'm playing chess all my life and still I am very unsure in many positions if I'm doing the right thing. To take feels a bit risky in my opinion because now the move g5 is getting so powerful, so I think black should not have taken here. Black could have waited with the move bishop d8 or the move rook on b8. This would be normal for black. Now the bishop is very powerful. It is targeting also the only open file here. So I think this play of black I don't like so much. No, let's get the bishop out, I think. We can also take here. This is interesting, but I think we can get the bishop out first. Rook on c1 next. We're gonna dominate on the c file because there is no way to get the rook to c8. We have the move g5, so slowly, I believe we are improving on our chances here. In my opinion, the mistake of black was to take on d5. This was not the best. Alright, what do we have in the chat? Full silence. We have silence in the chat. Everyone is too shy. Now we can go with the move bishop takes d4, takes. There is a check. We will be playing king f2. Is it a valid play? Yeah, but I think we should go for more. We should aim for more here. Maybe I should not play the move bishop e3. Maybe this was a mistake, but okay, let's go with the move rook on c1. We're dominating the file. This feels just like the right play. Yes, there is... I think he should have gone queen a5. Queen c6 is looking suspicious. There is a little trick here. Knight on c2. This is a trick. We cannot avoid the trick. Wow. We cannot avoid the trick. We have this idea of rook c6, but in case I take, there's check. So I take queen on e3. We're gonna play king f1 and king on g2. Who is doing better? Because we still have the g5 idea that we control the c file. This is very good, but maybe we're not doing better there. So we can do the short castle now, which is interesting because I'm gonna push with this f4 and we might be able to checkmate. But on the other hand, black is gonna take and then b4, so there might be just a queen walking. I don't know. Should we go crazy with the move short castle? Maybe. Let's go. Let's go with the move short castle. This is, of course, extremely dangerous position, I think, for both of the players. We are dominating the c file, so we will be pushing with moves like rook c6, for example, with moves like f4 or g5, etc. So it's going to be a crazy game here. But it looks dangerous for both, because I'm losing now the pawn on a3. The pawn will start to walk. On the other hand, we will push against the king on e8. So computers would be 100% sure, very happy here with the black. But human ways, I think it's far from easy, because to defend such positions is a tricky thing. At the moment there is no b4 because we have this check here. We have the option of the check, and here we push with the move g5, I guess. So you will see now a monster attack on the king on g8. I have many different ideas here. For example, one idea is to play king on g2 and rook on h1. So this game is getting crazy now. This is gonna be a crazy game. I will be attacking the king on g8. I am controlling the c file, and black obviously would like just a queen here with the pawns. So we should take, or should we go like rook c6? Also, it's looking not so bad to put the rook on c6, trying to give a checkmate. Should we also take? Then there is a move g6, or maybe first to play the move queen h5, trying to attack. I don't know. Maybe let's go first with the move rook c6. It feels like the right decision, but I'm not so sure. But is it the right decision, or should we take and then rook on c6? I'm opening the bishop a little bit, but okay, maybe. Let's go. Let's go. Let's first take to activate as well the rook on the f file. Feels not bad. Now we play the move rook c6. The queen is under attack. We have also the option of d6, d7, just in case. At the moment, I don't think it's useful, but maybe later. We should go for this queen h5 next. Idea of white is just to give a checkmate, so we should go for the checkmate. Queen h5 immediately, yes or no? I don't know. There's also d6 somewhere. Not looking bad. Insane position. Let's go with the move queen on h5. We are trying to give a checkmate. King is alone on g8. So we have many ideas here of delivering a checkmate to the black king. As you can see, suddenly all the white pieces are aiming towards the king. We still have the idea d6. We're still dominating on the c file. So is it possible to defend such position as black? Yes, maybe. Maybe that's possible for an engine, but for a human, You feel that you are under very heavy attack here. This is your feeling as a human here, and sometimes it's very difficult to defend. The direct threats are now bishop on f5. We have here the pin and bishop f6. What is that? In case I play bishop f5, what is happening next? Also, I can just take, I think, and it is a win, no? Or king on g2 even. Maybe there's idea of g6. This is what our opponent is planning to do. g6. Is it enough to hold the game by playing the move g6? Doesn't look like that. How should we play here? I think we should take. This is clear. So let's take first. We have the option of bishop f5 to win the queen, but is it winning the game? We have to calculate. I can play also as well the move like queen h6 or rook takes. I think rook takes looks like a win. I don't see a defense, so let me play the move rook takes f6. Maybe I should have gone for the queen, but maybe still we can do it. So this might eventually not run away from us. We are attacking now the king on g8 with all we got. Let's see if this is going to be enough. I think it should. He's missing now the mate in 2. So we can push the F button. We didn't push the F button today. We're gonna push it now. Boom. So you can think a little bit for yourself. We have now a winning combination here with white. It is mate in checkmate in 2 moves. So a very, very interesting game is coming to an end. I think extremely interesting game, because we had so many different strategic decisions to take. Try to think for yourself. How would you checkmate here? Black in just 2 moves. I give it a little bit more time, because just 2 moves left till end of the game. The black almost queened here with the a-pawn, but now we give a checkmate by taking on g5. And next move is a checkmate with a move rook h6. So extremely interesting game in my opinion. Especially here we have this kind of huge battle. I played the short castle. Why I did it play the short castle? Because this position is okay. Of course, we can take on b4, then there's this check. So we have to take it. Queen takes on e3. I don't know if we should go for an endgame. I think king on f1 is a more normal play. And this kind of position is, I don't know. I think it should be fine for black, probably. Because, yes, we control the c file. But somehow, I don't know. It feels completely okay for black. Black might play the move a5, so to activate there the rook from a8. This is gonna be fine. I think I made a mistake here to play the move bishop e3. Yeah, this is a mistake. I should have probably castled short side. Or maybe to play this king f1, king on g2. This would have been better. And now, I don't know, maybe I should have taken even here. But I don't like this kind of opposite color positions. Yes, white has for sure good play, but is it enough? This is a question. Black can, for example, win here as a pawn on b4. So let's say king a2, take f4. Then the idea is to get the king on f3. And then to attack. Opposite color bishop positions is... Yes, attack is gonna be strong, but is it enough? So I'm not so sure. That's why I played this. Rook c1, and we had the position after short castle. Take f4. So it is a crazy position. It should be better for black, objectively speaking, but over the board it looks insane, because we have rook c6 idea, I have the idea of taking, I have the idea of g5. As we saw in the game, the white pieces are getting active, and black can only castle short side, because otherwise black has to stay with the king on e8. So this is what my opponent did, and here we push. We push with all the pieces on the king. Suddenly there's bishop f5 idea, g6. I think I can go queen h6 or even take. Probably it's winning to take on g6. So not easy. Bishop f6 played by our opponent, and here take, because this is also not looking bad to play bishop f5, but not sure. So to take is logical. We would like to take on g5 next. I think the rook should have been moved. And now is the question how to give a checkmate. It feels there should be a checkmate. The white pieces are just too active. Maybe something like rook h6 might be a checkmate. We have some beautiful moves like bishop e6 also might be a checkmate. Maybe even first to play d6 might be a checkmate, because how to run away with the king. There will be no escape for the black king, but maybe rook h6 is the simplest way to attack in the current position. Still, it's a very sharp position, and sure, there might be some tactics to save the game for black, but it looks that white is eventually giving a checkmate. So, alright, we had a very interesting game. Let's go for the next one. Let's go with the next one. Question by Tommy. Have you many games against Korchnoi? No, Korchnoi, not many games, not many games. When I was getting better as a chess player, Korchnoi already was not on his very top, so he was not playing that many events any longer. So yeah, not so many games again. I think I played just maybe 1 or 2 games against Korchnoi. I don't remember, it's so long ago. That's pity, that's pity. Korchnoi, one of the greatest chess players in the history ever. Let's go with the next game. We have the Nimzo. Which line should we play against the Nimzo? Let's go with the maybe short castle line against the Nimzo knight on e2 line, d5. So we have the central line here. Bishop on d6. Let's play something else, because bishop e7 is the other main continuation. Let's go with the move bishop on d6. Idea of black is to play b6 followed by the move c5. Let's see what happens. Good question in the chat. How to avoid moving automatically based on previous plan and not evaluate the current position. So each move you play, you have to double check always. You might have the greatest plan, but in case you are not double checking your plan, it might just be not working because of tactics. That's why you have to double check. There is nothing else that you can do here. Double check your ideas. It's the only way. Alright, we have here the pawn wall by white. Is it good? Is it bad? It's normal, so neither good or bad. Usually the move a5 is done here because we try to explode on the wall. We would like to take ab, so the question is bishop on b2 or rook to b1, and then we're gonna play the move b6. So we try to push a little bit on the queen side. Simultaneously we're aiming to play the move e5 in case we can. Let's see. What is going to happen next? So I see a question about Faustino Oro. I don't know Faustino Oro, he's very young. He's very young. So I don't know what to tell you about him. We will see how good he's going to get. Still too early, I think, to take any judgments. So he is a very young boy. Now, after the move b5, usually the move e5 is the way to play, so let's try, because we have to do something in the center, otherwise we will get squeezed. And for example, the move knight on g4 is looking normal. We try to win the pawn on e5 and simultaneously to win the pawn on c5. Maybe it is better for white, but it will be a big tactical battle here. So let's see what happens next. We have again a very interesting position on the chessboard, I think. many ideas for white and many ideas for black here. So, queen takes d5. Our opponent is aiming for an endgame. This is making sense. Yeah, queen d5, maybe a very strong play. Can we avoid the endgame only by playing the move queen e8 or the move knight on d7? I like the move knight on d7. Yes, there is some kind of e6 coming next, but maybe we will get enough compensation. So let's go with the move knight on d7. I think the pawn on e5 is under attack, and the pawn on c5 is under attack. So we will be winning some pawn back. King is still on e1, so I'm targeting the king of white. I hope to get some decent counterplay. Knight could be good, could be bad. In case we get some kind of knight takes c5, so the pieces start to become very active of black, and it could be complete mess. This could be a crazy mess on the chessboard, and this is what we want, of course, because we have the safe king on g8, and white has the king on e1, which is not so safe. So we are aiming for a crazy play. Question by Tommy: when you will start group lessons? I don't know yet. I think I'm planning to do this maybe middle of May. Eventually, this is a time when I will be announcing them. But in any case, I will of course announce them in advance. You will be able to book the lessons directly on the website, on our official website, so you will not miss them. In case, of course, you are interested. So we have the move e6. Now we have many options. Ooh, I see a beautiful option for black. I don't know if this is working, but it's just so beautiful. Of course, we can take here, take d8, this kind of endgame. It's gonna be a tricky endgame. Maybe white is doing better, but we have here a beautiful option. We can do something crazy, and I think I'm gonna go for it. It's too beautiful not to be played. And let's go with the move fe. What a surprising option. I think he didn't expect that. King h8. We are sacrificing the knight on g4. But we have this bit knight takes c5. Very, very beautiful. The knight is getting to d3 next, and then we're gonna take on f2. So it is too tempting for me not to play something like f takes, and then knight takes on c5. This is going to be very, very beautiful. What a mess on the chessboard. I think someone like Shirov would be now saying, yeah, Arkady, you're doing the right thing. I would have done the same. Shirov would not miss an opportunity like that. He had, I think, the most crazy games ever. Alexei Shirov. Actually, we are from the same city. It is Riga. We're born in Riga, in Latvia. So we have the move knight f4. Our opponent is not taking the knight on g4, which is good and bad. There is no checkmate, but we will be trying still to attack now with all we have. Should we play knight e5, knight takes c5, knight f6? So many options. Which option should we choose here? I don't know, but maybe just to take the pawn is not a bad idea, because in case we are not sure what to do, to take the pawn is usually the right play. I don't see any kind of checkmate. Yes, we might be able to sacrifice like that, but this is a bit too much in my opinion. We have also options of playing this bishop on f6 somewhere, which is not a bad option. So this is also very playable here. Attacking the knight. How actually to defend the knight? Bishop on b2, then we are capable of taking. Also, this is very interesting. Bishop f6. Is it a good move or is it a bad move? This is very hard to judge. So to take looks good. It looks like a good position, I think, for black. So should we take? Or bishop on f6? It feels a bit strange because we close the file, so it would be great to do something unpleasant to wait on the free file, so not sure. Okay, let's go with the move knight c5. Maybe bishop f6 is a better play, but I'm not 100% sure. It feels good to play knight on c5. We have so many threats. Maybe it's enough to play the move knight on c5. Not searching for something better, and the idea is to play bishop on d6. This is at least what I wanted to play here. Bishop on d6. So first of all, we might be able somewhere to take on f4. We are avoiding the change of queens. Queen f6 is coming next, and we get some kind of crazy play here as well with the move rook on f5. Very unusual, by the way, rook f5. Plus we have queen h4, so many different options are available to black in the current position. I think we should be doing better here with black pieces because it feels that we are too active, just a pawn down. It's not so much to be a pawn down, and the black pieces are now so active. Knight on g4, knight on c5, beautiful positions for the black knights. We have queen f6. Bishop e2, he's trying to castle. Good play by our opponent. He's playing a good game as well. So, now, how can we do something very unpleasant to white? I think queen on f6 is looking like a powerful move because there is no way for white to escape immediately. Let me calculate a little bit. Queen h4 also looks like a good move. I think queen f6 is still my favorite. So we have here the pressure. Maybe I will be able to take on f4 and avoid that white is capable of castling at least immediately. Plus we have this bishop e5 move somewhere. So many different threats. So many different threats. I think this kind of bishop b2 is one of the only, but maybe we can take on f2 and then bishop takes f4. So this might be also a checkmate. So many different options. This is crazy. In case we would play a classical game, I think I would need 30 minutes of thinking to decide what I'm gonna play next, because just so many options. So many options, and all is looking like it should be more or less okay for black. So to take a decision is getting very difficult. My opponent also is not sure what to play next with white. And of course, it's very difficult to play this kind of positions because so many options for both of the players. Obviously, this is not looking so beautiful for white, but still, it's by far not over. I have this move, I have this move, I have this move that could be played next. Maybe to take on f4 is fine as well. So really many options here. Try to calculate as well for yourself. I think in case you try to calculate what would you do next. This is, I think, the best to get better at chess. I think c6, by the way, is looking good. So in case you calculate for yourself, you are considering left or right, and then you see what happens on the board. We compare. This is the way to improve to a better player, in my opinion at least. So we have the move c6. Why I played c6 so quick? Because first of all, we have little time on the clock and position is just too complex. So I'm not sure if c6 is a good play or a bad play. Could be both. We have queen on h5. What happens in case I go g6? It is just too complex to judge for me if I'm doing a bad move or a good move. both is possible here. So I just played quickly the move c6. Now g6. Where does the queen go? Knight g6 is probably the idea, but this endgame should be better for black in my opinion. We can also take the knight first. Is it not just winning? If pawn takes, we're gonna play the move g6, and the knight is hanging now on c5, so this is not a win. Maybe also to take here is very interesting. Again, so many options. So many options to choose from. I think I'm gonna go for the g6 line, because I believe this endgame should be better for black. So we are winning now a piece. Also, I had the move knight on b3, by the way. Maybe I should have played it. Maybe not, because the bishop g4 would be available. Yeah, too crazy. This position is just too crazy to play a move. I don't know. I don't know what is the best, so let me just attack the queen on h5. The idea is simple. I think that knight g6 has to be played, because in case queen goes away, we take on f2, and the bishop from c8 will be as well attacking the queen. That's why I'm hoping that knight g6 is the next move. We are gonna go for this endgame, and I believe this endgame should be better for black, because we have the extra piece. No, we have the move queen h3. Whoa. What is this? What is this? In case I take f2, what is happening? Is there something that I'm missing? Okay, I don't know. I don't know what I'm missing. That's why I just take. Is there something that white can do now that I don't see? Queen on h6, but what is the threat of that? I can always take on f4 in case I need to. But I think I can just take the rook first. Knight takes g6 idea does not work, because we can take it back. The bishop is protecting the rook on f8. We won the rook on h1. For no obvious compensation, at least I don't see any kind of compensation here for white. We are able even to play the move g5 next, for example. But this is also not a must. Let's get the bishop out first. I think it's just a checkmate. No, it's not a checkmate, but very close to that. Yeah, okay, let's get the bishop out. I think the easiest way to win the current position. We get the pieces out. Now everything is so stable. We have here the little check that is coming next. So let's give the little check to our opponent. Let's simply take. And I think it is game over. We get the rook on d8. As you can see, all the black pieces are now in the game. We are exchange up, plus we have a mating attack. This should be enough to win the game. This is just enough to win the game. So yeah, all in all, crazy game. I mean, wow. So many options for white and black. We had this kind of insane position where each side had I don't know how many different options to play. Well, bishop on b4. Still, let's finish the game in style, so we should not blunder something. No, we are not blundering, so we are winning the current game. And yeah, huge game, I think. Very interesting. Our opponent played as well a good game. So it was a big battle, and in the end we've been a little bit lucky, but all in all, great game, I think. So, in case you like my comments, like and subscribe, obviously, to VChess. We have educational streams daily going on here. We played now quite many of the rapid games. Thank you very much for the nice comments in the chat. And today we will be finishing our stream with a game against Grand Miner. He's always there with us. He's also sometimes the very first to say hello in the chat. Grand Miner, in case you like to play a game, please let me know what is your nickname, and please challenge me in a Blitz game, because I have to go soon. I'm usually trying to stream for 2 hours. I cannot stream more during the day. Many things to do. So, Grand Miner, in case you want to play, Challenge me, please. 3 minutes, Blitz game. And let me know what's your account, because otherwise there are too many requests. I see a question. Instead of c6, wasn't knight b3 better in the previous game? Maybe. As I said, the game is just too complex. I don't know what is the best move, so I only can do a move that I believe is the right way to go. And according to my feeling, in such a complex position, we need at least, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of thinking, of calculation, to know what is the right choice. So, Grand Miner, where are you? What is your nickname? Please let me know, in case you want to play a chess game. Grand Miner is not telling us what is his secret account on chess.com, or maybe Grand Miner doesn't like to play the game. Let's wait a little bit for Grand Miner. Yes, I see Grand Miner. So, Grand Miner, probably the nickname Grand Miner is a Grand Miner, I would say. In case this is not Grand Miners, and we have 2 Grand Miners on VChess. So, let's go. Grand Miner challenged us. I think it is Grand Miner. Let's wait a little bit more. No. Nothing. Okay, let's go against Grand Miner. Accept, let's go. We play a Blitz game. I hope it is the Grand Miner from the chat, but we will see. e4, e5, knight f3. Let's open up with a solid opening Italian game. Knight on f6, d3. We have the main line of the Italian game. Bishop on c5, also the main line. We continue with the short castle. All is as usual. Let's go to move knight on c3. This is sort of symmetrical position. Very playable, of course, for both. We have the move knight a5. Good move by Grand Miner. He's taking the bishop on c4. And I will be trying to play this kind of game like VE likes to do this. He gives up the bishop on c4 and then he gets his queen on d3. A bit strange, but maybe very playable. So let's go with the VE strategy. We play the move a3. Welcome to the chat for everyone who is new here on VChess. We have chess educational streams. We focus on getting better every day, step by step. And of course, this channel is for more serious people. So this is what we are here on VChess. Short castle, alright. And how did VE play his positions in the candidates? He usually made a move like a3. So there is b4 coming, and we try to have this kind of long game, and we push against the pawn on d6. So let's push here a little bit. On the d file, we have at the moment Grand Miner playing so quickly. Wow. Very quick play. Black is doing perfectly okay, so for the moment Grand Miner is playing a great game in my opinion. Position is more or less equal. We are following the strategy of VE to put the pressure on the d-file. We have to learn from the best. Now, should we go with the move knight a4? Feels so-so, I would say. Maybe bishop e3 is a bit better. We try to change the bishop on c5 and we try to dominate on the d-file. So we have like a 2-stage strategy for the current game. Let's see if it works. b3 eventually coming next to defend the pawn on c4, so take. Now I guess the bishop is going to take a central position. And we will be playing or b3 or the move c5, so both is possible. The strategy of VE is here to put the pressure on the d-file. This is the Chinese opening, like I like to call it, because only the Chinese do play this. But it's actually not so bad. The idea, computers always say it's equal here, but I think Not that simple. We will be putting the pressure on the d file, so it's easy play for white. We play against a pawn on d6. Black has to be a little bit careful not losing the pawn on d6. We would like eventually get the queen on b6 in case we need it. We have the idea of playing c5 in case we need it. And also we have the idea of knight a4, knight on b6. So it's not like one-way street here. This position is pretty flexible for both, and this makes, I think, the game very interesting because so many different plans. For example, with black, there is a plan of knight h4 followed by the move knight to f4, so I would like to play rook on d2, rook to d1 first. In case of knight h5, I have the move knight on e2, for example. In case I would put the rook to d3, maybe then there is knight h5 with a tempo and f5 next. So many ideas, I think, for both colors, white and black, but my advice would be, in case you are playing Italian game, you might try to play this with the white pieces. I think it is easier to play. So from practical point of view, it's easier. As you can see now, that the grandminer is thinking, because it's not easy to make a move. And this is the thing about practical chess and all these engines and etc. Sometimes you have a position which is equal, but so hard to play. And it makes the position not equal, because from practical point of view it's just impossible to play. This is what Magnus Carlsen is choosing so wisely, opening wise, in my opinion. He's choosing positions that are so unpleasant to play for the opponent. Computer is showing, yeah, it's equal, but so difficult to play. Knight on h5, the knight wants to get to f4. Now we can push with the move c5, but is it time to push or time to be solid? Maybe let me try to be solid with the move knight on e2. We are not allowing here to play the move knight f4. a4, good move, very good move actually. I missed the move a4. I should have not allowed black to play the move a4. Now what can we do here? g4, don't like it so much. Queen on b6, this looks like a decent move, but black is gonna take and take the pawn on h3. Then we have to play the move c5, so very complicated, very complicated position. Can be good, can be bad. Maybe let's go the move g4. Then we're gonna play the move knight on c3 in case he's going to win the pawn on h3. I hope to get this c5 done. This is going to be a crazy position. I don't know if this is good for black and white, but now a bit strange. Knight f6 has to be played. Grandminer, you gotta play the move knight f6. You have nothing else. Grandminer is thinking about something. I don't know about what, because I think there is nothing else except going back. Maybe. What could it be? What could it be? Yeah, I saw nothing else except going back, because what else? Now I think we go here. The pawn on a3 can be taken, but then we have this knight on e5 plus the move c5. So we're not losing the pawn yet. Probably black is going to take the pawn, but I think I can take the pawn on e5. So we take the central pawn because we have the d file. And somewhere we might aim for the c5 idea. We have a couple of ideas how to play next. Grandminer is playing a very good game with the black pieces. Still, I think black is under pressure. So let's see what happens next. Rook on e8, and we just go back with the knight. Knight wants to get to d4 and to f5 next. Still, the pressure on the pawn d6 remain. In case of d5, we have the move e5, for example. So, still not so easy. Bishop takes g4. What a sacrifice! What a sacrifice of a piece, but I think I can just take it, because what is the idea of that? We have the queen on f4. There is no checkmate yet. h5, I think we can just take the pawn on h5, or is there something tricky going on? I don't think so. So we are capable of taking the pawn on h5. And next we're gonna take the knight. Yeah, Grand Miner panics a little bit, being low on time, but first, great game by Grand Miner. Very good game. Now obviously we are capable of winning the piece on g4, and that's it. Alright. Good fight, Grand Miner, in the beginning. Very, very good game. I think you played excellent game, especially the move a4, very strong here. Maybe I should not play the move knight a2, but again, this is a blitz game, and of course, so difficult to be precise. So this was a huge fight here. I think in this position, maybe with black, it's better not to take the pawn on a3 because you give the pawn on e5. So maybe it was better to be more solid. For example, I don't know, get the knight on e8 and then to c7. Maybe aim for something like d5, push in the center. Position is extremely complicated, so I'm not sure what is the best move here. In case take knight e5, the problem is that I took a very important pawn here in the center. And you cannot move the rook really because I'm gonna take the pawn on d6. Still, there might be some very tactical way to proceed here with the black pieces, but it doesn't seem so. And here white is doing better already because I have knight on d4 coming, knight to f5, d6 pawn is going to be falling long run. I have also queen on to f4, so yeah. This is going to be a worse position for black, so very complicated position here. I think it is one of the crucial moments of the game. Do you have something with black, or is there nothing that black can do against this kind of a slow pressure by white? I believe black should be fine. This is my feeling. My feeling is that Grand Miner should have here some option to be okay. But it's not easy. Not easy. Very, very complex position. Alright, great play, Grand Miner. I hope you enjoyed the game. That's it for today's stream. Like and subscribe in case you are enjoying my comments. I will be back in the evening eventually. For me, I try to stream twice per day. Not so easy because it takes so much time and energy. So yes, in case you enjoy, support us on VChess. We have many great things to come. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I will be back in the evening. So till then, have a great day and eventually see you in the evening. Thank you and bye.